It's so nice to see you, even though you're kind of far, but feels like you're
I
close.
know.
I'm excited for this live. So shall we
Yeah, me
introduce?
too.
Hi.
Yeah, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you want
Yep,
to
go
go
ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be with you. My name is Marina, and I'm a plant-based wellness transformational coach. So what that means is I help you reach your wellness goals around plant-based eating, but the transformational part of it is really going into any blocks that are holding you back from your vision, from your wellness vision. So we go really deep, and we're going to do it today to just show you an example of how I coach people. I go really deep to uncover any of those blocks and to really, really make sure that you get to that vision. So it's not just the cooking and the nutrition part and all that fun stuff, but it's also any mindset, emotional, subconscious blocks holding you back.
Awesome. Yeah, and so my name is Sucha. I would say so I've been kind of playing around with this term called movement fusion. And so for me, I have an organization called Live Bliss that hosts community experiences that focus on mixed movement. So multiple types of movement, not just functional fitness, but yoga. And we've done animal flow before, we've done weightlifting, a variety types of movements, and then also plant-based nutrition. So kind of bringing all of that together. So I am an experienced yoga teacher. I've also taught lots of group fitness classes, personal training of the sorts, and I'm continuously kind of merging myself into all of these different types of movement. So I'm always trying to learn myself and then share what I've learned through that as well.
And I got to experience Sucha's yoga class, which I loved because it was such a good combination of relaxation and the more strength based flow, sweating, moving your body. So I really,
Yeah.
really liked it because it's exactly what I'm looking for, and I bet many of you are too.
Awesome. Yeah. And another reason that I really resonate with everything Marina has to offer is because I think there's a big difference, and she'll get into this as far as the difference between eating vegan and eating whole food plant-based. So really eating whole foods and making a connection with your food. This is actually something I was just thinking about this morning, is that we have the tendency to just eat food and nibble at it, and we're doing something else while we're eating food, or we just view it as how many protein, how many carbs, how many whatever, instead of just like really taking a second to mindfully eat and really create that relationship with our food, which is so important. It's directly linked to our stress and so many other things that could actually have a bigger impact than just exactly what we're eating, but how we're eating it, how we're relating to it. So we'll jump into this coaching session, which is basically what it is, with me kind of coaching Marina for the first part of it as far as movement goes. So my first question to you, Marina, is what kind of movement are you doing on the daily, and how often are you moving?
So we're talking about ever since the quarantine started, right? Because it's been super different.
It has been different. Yeah, let's make it very like quarantine specific.
Yeah.
Why not? Because I mean, that's what we're all going through. Yeah, so for the quarantine time, because I know a lot of us it's been more than a week now that we've been quarantined, so we're now finally kind of, a lot of us are still getting into the groove. I know I still am, but what does your movement schedule look like right now?
So right now I actually started doing a lot of stretching and mobility, which I've always been interested in it, but I never really got into it like consistently. So I've
Yeah.
been doing that every day in the beginning of my workout for at least like 10, 15 minutes. And I just follow like YouTube videos, and it just makes me feel so good. And I also noticed that it really helps me work the muscles like after. So it's really awesome. So this is like a good thing of the quarantine, that I got into this movement
Yeah.
practice. And then after okay, so just background, like I have a tendency to overdo it, and I always have. So that's why I really like to follow like a structured program. A lot of people follow them so that they can actually work harder, but I follow structured programs so that I can be balanced and like not overdo it and not get insanely sore and like not be able to walk for a week, which was very
It's
often.
very easy to do that, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. So the one that I'm following now is by Natasha. I cannot say her last name. Do you know who I'm talking about? She's
Is the
like
last name Ocean?
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
I
Exactly.
really like her entire like outlook and mindset on life and stuff. So I'll post that up later on my Instagram as a resource for you guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. And I actually did her, what was it? It wasn't strength. So one of her programs I finished like the whole 12 weeks that I bought. And then I started doing the movement, which is like a lot of handstands and like, just like I feel like more up your alley. It's like
Hmm.
not exactly weightlifting, but it's like
Yeah.
handstands, stuff like that.
Calisthenics. Yeah.
But yeah, that's my favorite. Like kettlebells, like what you do basically. Because
Yeah.
I really like to actually move and not
Yeah.
just weight lift because it feels really static. Like when you're
Yep.
sitting. I mean, I did that for years, and then obviously got cut off. So I bought her home workouts, and that's what I've been
Hmm.
doing. And then I also added pull-ups to it because I have a pull-up bar, and like pull-ups are my favorite. And
Yeah.
my goal is to get 10 like really good ones, like really good
Yeah.
form. I'm at like 7 now.
That's awesome. Yeah, pull-ups are hard. I think this is a really great opportunity to get those movements that really like emanate true strength um in right now during this quarantine. So like for me, for example, like pistol squats are really fun. So that's something that take a lot of strength, and sometimes I have them, but if I'm not working on it consistently, or even flexibility, like if you don't necessarily have to do the splits, but if there's a lot of movements that just feel really tight in your hips, now you have that extra time to work on them. So
I have a
something,
question. I have
yeah,
a question about the pistol squat because I've
yeah.
been doing that while like holding my foot, which makes it a little easier, I think,
Hmm.
wise, right?
Yeah,
But it's harder flexibility wise because you're like literally like holding, and my
holding
back
it
is
straight, yeah.
is not straight. Is that
Yeah.
bad? Like, should I not do
So So inevitably during this movement is very hard to just keep your posture upright, because a lot of times you're actually contracting with your core and then keeping your body in tight so that you're able to keep your body compact while lifting up in your pistol squat. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, and I definitely recommend doing it like assisted. I actually don't practice it grabbing my foot, but if I'm doing more of a yoga posture, then there is that posture where you're standing and you're holding your foot out in front of you. So there's a lot of different ways to go about the pistol squat, and YouTube videos definitely help, but I would practice it more so without holding the foot, but more so just maybe assisted at first, or seeing how low you can go, but trying to keep that foot just really flexed and as straight as possible as you come up. That's going to be where you need to really like engage your core as you come up.
And is
Yeah.
it, and it's, if I ever do it like holding the foot, how important is it to like keep your back straight? Because you know what happens, you kind of hunch over when you're
Yeah.
grabbing. Yeah.
So holding the foot, I believe, actually kind of helps because you have this anchor that you're holding on to. So now you can squeeze your shoulder blades back, and it will still look like your back is forward, but you are keeping your spine straighter. So that
Mhm.
can help if you are grabbing your foot that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is so helpful. I'm so
I
excited.
know. Yeah, it's fun to create these goals. And I think that's like one thing anyone going through this during the quarantine time is like, creating goals and creating that structure is really helpful, because there's two extremes. One is that without any structure, you're kind of like, I don't feel like working out today, especially when you're in your home environment. If you're used to going to a gym, it can feel very like not as motivating. There's the other extreme, which I feel like we both are inclined to do, and a lot of people who are into fitness who are chiming in might be, leaning towards where you overdo it, right? So like I've been using my Fitbit, and I don't use it to really run because I'm not personally a runner. However, I want to make sure I'm getting my 10,000 steps during the day and staying active. What that means is that I'll start running and I'll still try to get in a full workout, and then my weights are there, and then I'll want to even hop into another class. So it's easy to overdo it that way. So the reason why I think this quarantine time is so great for creating mixed movement is that you have all these abilities to try new things. A lot of times You might even try stuff that you might be conscious to do in the gym, but now you know, are not. So one day could be more strength focused. If you do have weights, that's great, but there's a lot of resources to do, even like Bulgarian split squat. If you have your foot popped up on a couch or a chair, those are killer and very strength focused. A lot of really strong ab movements. A different day could be like more body weight plyometrics or a high intensity workout. And then a different day, more of yoga. And then, like, if you have a pull up bar or a dip bar or even the wall just to practice your handstands, there's so many different things that are all building up strength. But it's that mindset that we're not attached to like our typical bro split in the gym where it's chest day, leg day, and all of that, but really learning to incorporate all of it.
That's been really hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because
Yeah.
I was doing like so well in the gym at this point. Like, I was progressing and I was like getting so many of my goals, and I hi in the comments over there. And I couldn't agree more with you that it's like about having that goal. So I've really had to like switch my mindset, and first of all, be like confident in the belief that if I'm working, I'm still like doing an hour workout.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, not obviously, but for me, I'm not like as tired.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not as like exhausted, but I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna keep some strength if I'm still like doing something. But wait,
Mhm.
keep switching to like,
I know. I was tapping the screen and then it kept switching. Sorry about that.
yeah, so you know, like just doing something. I feel like I was actually talking about this with my mom, because my mom is also like, if it's not perfect, I'm not gonna do anything. And it's like,
Mm,
just do something. It doesn't matter, you know? So
yeah.
having goals has been super helpful. And then I'm also doing a lot of things with like resistance bands and just like bands.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been,
Resistance bands are great and they're actually like very affordable on Amazon. And my friend Emma actually led like an online booty focus class yesterday, and I was surprised by like right now how sore I feel, like just
yeah.
focused in that area just from using, and it wasn't even a full-on glute band. It was a very cheap, like I think I got a pack for $6 of different resistance, and it was insane how much of a workout and pump that I felt. And I was gonna, you know, kind of mention, if you are really used to going into the gym and having your split day where it's whether it's upper body, lower body, for me, I would always put in legs and back together and then do like more of you know, chest, arms, and abs on a different day. And that was, you know, everyone has their own splits, but if you're used to going into the gym where it makes it easy with those focused machines, this is a great opportunity this quarantine time to not to use the word robotically go into the gym and work out, but to really self-educate yourself and find out how you can still create that split of training at home so you're not fatiguing every single muscle, so that the next day you're still able to do everything, right? So there's a ton of movements, even with just your body weight or a simple band or just a few dumbbells, where you can isolate enough that you can really get a full-on workout just for your back or just for your triceps, biceps, or just for your core or your legs, and then still keep that up. So structure is definitely going to be great. It's just going to take maybe an hour of your time to really sit down, research a few quick movements, and there's tons of YouTube follow along as well. So kind of depending on what you're used to. Do you have any specific goals like right now, like for the quarantine time, or you know, you said you have your pull-up goal, but anything else as far as like I know for some people it is more aesthetic, for some people it's more of like strength focused or volume, how many reps, that type of thing?
I guess I have goals in all the things. So
Yeah.
I was gonna also ask you, I mean, to tack onto this, like,
Yeah.
with resistance bands, do we have to do like way more reps? But you can answer that with the goal thing.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, the pull-ups, that's really fun. So I'm trying to do like 10 really good pull-ups to strengthen my core,
Mm-hmm.
because that's kind of like weaker in my body, my core, relative to all the other muscles. And to really keep my strength. I mean, I know I probably won't keep it like exactly as it was before, because I was lifting like 230-pound dumbbells for shoulder press. You know, I'm not gonna have that with like a resistance band, but at least something.
Yeah.
And I really want like a more toned upper body. I have so much strength in my upper body, but it's not ever as toned as my lower body. So that's in terms of like what I look like.
Yeah. Yeah, so I will answer your question about like the volume and just as far as like, obviously everyone's prone to getting more toned in different parts of their body. So that's definitely something that you obviously know probably where you feel more toned. For me, I know that like my upper body, my shoulders and my upper body can easily put on muscle, but it takes me more work to put on muscle in my lower body. So,
Let's
for
switch.
right, like we always want what we can't have, and it's like,
Totally.
and so
Yeah.
just like really that's where like learning to like really like love yourself and be appreciative for what you have, because no matter what, even that girl or guy that you think is like completely happy with themselves, they're wanting something that you have, and you're gonna want something that they have. So that's just kind of part of the like life process thing, which I think is pretty beautiful once we're at peace with that. But as far as, working on the different like muscle groups, as far as like where we want to focus on building more strength, because a lot of times when we feel like we don't have access to the gym, we're all of a sudden, just like you said, we're like, oh, like I don't know if I'll be like able to keep my strength gains. The crazy thing is that just by doing, a week of at-home workouts, I feel like my strength and endurance has been challenged and tested way more than when I actually go into the gym. So, one example is that I see a lot of people lifting a lot of weight, but when it comes to calisthenic like movements, even something like a push up, people are struggling. And so, there's several ways to take the basic push up. You can elevate your legs and make it decline where you're pushing more weight into your upper body, and that's already going to challenge yourself a lot. So many variations with that, even progressing to moving your arms in or out, or even one-handed, like, or distributing the weight differently. Stagger position is something that I've been playing around with. So if you are having your hands here, you have one back, and then you're going in for that push-up. So push-ups, you're already doing pull-ups, which is great. Bulgarian split squat and walking lunges are going to be like phenomenal. So there's some movements that are very, very difficult. So even if they don't have any weight, another one is if you hook your feet underneath the bed or a couch and you go in for a Nordic curl. So that's a
Oh,
lot of
those are
hamstring
hard.
strength. Yeah. So there's so many movements there that, just by looking it up or reaching out to, you can always, anyone watching here can reach out to me and I can follow up with you after this, as far as like movements that are really going to test your strength. Also, like whether we like to admit it or not, the gym is kind of a distracting place. So,
Wow.
it has its culture, its community, and that's why we love going to the gym, because you come in there and you get into your zone, but there's different things that we pay attention to, our different machines. And when you're at home, you really truly have to like go dive deep into yourself, and you have to realize like you really understand, when do I really get fatigued? What is my true limit? How many reps can I actually do, and how much work was I pushing because I have the pressure of being around in this gym community or whatever that is. So when it
And like
comes to
form too, right? Like
good
a lot of
form,
times
yeah,
people like bang out those reps, but they're not in good form, and it
yeah,
doesn't really count. And also the
yeah,
mind muscle connection, like everything you're saying is just it's gonna flow really beautifully with
yeah,
the second part of this, with the mindset part, because it's really like I guess like this is what I hear from you is like it's in the mind. So if you believe that it's gonna be a lot easier and you're gonna lose your strength and blah blah blah, then that's what's gonna happen. But then if you know that you can have like do all these exercises that are really going to challenge you, then you probably will. So
yeah.
to me, like, paying to the mind muscle connection, like when you're working out, the best part is really like feeling your body work and really focusing on that. It's the best part.
It's so true. And I know some people who have been following me, that you guys know that I just went on a trip for like 3.5 months to Thailand and India. I didn't get to go into a gym like at all, maybe once or twice. And then I did do a yoga training and I did do some Muay Thai training, which is kind of like kickboxing. However, no consistent training at all. And I for sure, majority of the trip, I was getting movement in, but it wasn't anywhere close to my typical gym workout. But because I was forced to do more body weight workouts and working out outdoors, I had to focus more on the calisthenic like movements. And I was very nervous about my strength. And this is why strength is a really great indicator and not just how you look, but when you're focused on your strength and what your body's capable of. So even after coming back, I was doing my push-ups and I was doing a lot of my strength focused movements or even flexibility focused, and I was still able to do them, and it didn't feel like I backtracked a lot. And this is on top of taking long breaks without movement and, eating a lot more. That wasn't like my optimal way of eating. And so I really noticed, and I was like keeping up with the calisthenics specifically, and even more primal movement and more like a strengthening yoga like movement that can be really, really great for you. You mentioned about like volume, and you also mentioned like, that mind muscle connection and focusing on the form. That's been something I've noticed myself. Like while I'm working out at home, I've really tried to focus on my breath to every single movement I'm doing. So yoga is kind of like a no-brainer. We focus a lot on the breath, but specifically strength movements, whether it's high intensity or something that's working out or slow twitch muscle fibers, when you're focusing on the actual breath, like inhaling and exhaling as you're squatting down or going in for a deadlift or whatever it is, it makes such a big difference as opposed to just repping it out, which a lot of us have that pressure to do in the gym, even if it's someone waiting for the machine that we need to use. So that's been
Yeah.
a really big game changer, which brings me to the volume and how many reps you're doing. So a lot of times you'll notice that if you are really focused on the form and your breath with it, you might actually need to do way less reps, and you'll find yourself fatigued, and it'll be as solid or even better of a workout because you're making your workout as effective as possible. That's why if you have a really solid circuit or a few different exercises, maybe you're only taking 30 minutes, but those 30 minutes are your mind, your muscle are completely connected the entire time. And it's going to be like far better than just trying to build up a sweat over the span of an hour and a half.
That's really cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I've been really, inserting mindfulness into like so many areas of my life. It's like one by one. And I think for me, movement was really started as like a way to get into my body and really anxiety, because I was so in my mind, so in my head. And so what you're saying like resonates so much, because it's about really just coming into the body, but like fully, not just because you're moving, and when you move and it's hard, you're already out of the mind because you're just focused on getting through it.
Yeah.
But it's also like really making it almost like a meditation. So
Yeah.
beautiful. So maybe you can tell us, everyone watching. First of all, if you guys have questions, hi everybody in the comments. If you have questions about movement, she's your girl for sure. So please ask in the comments. And maybe you can share, we can both share the program that we're going to be starting on the 5th of April.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So we came up with a online retreat basically. So it started off as more of a program where we're able to create all these practices and coaching for you guys basically, and putting that in place. So any challenges that you're dealing with, you'll really learn all the tools you need to overcome them. And whatever you're dealing with in life, you're using breath work, you're using meditation, you're using a variety of movement, and you're using nutrition and mindset guidance to really help anchor that in and drive you wherever you need to go, but also find that balance. This is a really weird time right now because we don't know, what the quarantine is going to look like, but this is a very accessible program because it doesn't take up too much time, but you are still checking in on the daily and you're practicing, whether it's a live offering. So basically, this is going to be 21 days. There's 4 people. So myself, I'll be leading the movement. Marina, who'll be leading nutrition and mindset, so focusing on the mind. Our friend Marcella, who'll be focusing on heart, and she'll be doing meditation. She's also a phenomenal yoga nidra coach. And then also Chelsea, who's going to be focusing on breathwork facilitation. So you'll be getting some amazing offerings from all 4 of us. Do you want to say any words on it, Marina?
Yeah, I love how you describe it, but also like I think it's the perfect way to use this for as an opportunity, you know, for yourself to develop and really set those practices, because a lot of us are home and some of us are bored, some of us are extra stressed due to kids. But regardless, it's a really manageable amount of time, like Sucha said, and you can use it to really develop that routine of 21 days and then to keep it up. So you really get, you get a Facebook group, right? And we'll be going live there 5 days a week with different practices that you can follow along. And then you'll get those for life, which is amazing because you can keep up with it and keep doing it. But that container of 21 days, having our guidance, having our coaching is really going to support you in cultivating those practices. So I don't know if you have the program at the link in your bio right now.
Yep, it's in the link in my bio. So just click on that, and then you can DM either of us, Marina or myself, to ask any questions. Also, this coming Wednesday at what time? 2 p.m.
I think
7 p.m.
7. I think so.
7 p.m. We'll be doing a info call. So anyone who's just interested in learning more about it, you can join in on the Zoom meeting that we'll have, and we'll be sharing information on that. And we will answer any questions you have for the actual online retreat that we're hosting starting the following week.
Yeah, it's going to be so nice to just have that connection in that group. Even though we're all stuck at home, we'll be going through it together. So that's going to be really, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll be doing movement with mindfulness, right? Like you were describing.
Yeah, movement with mindfulness. It's going to be mixed movement. So every time I share a live class with everyone, it's going to be a different type of movement, technically what I call movement fusion. So it doesn't fall under the umbrella of just one kind of movement. So we'll be getting some primal movement, calisthenics, definitely a sweat in sometimes, but also focused on restoration and just making sure our joints feel good. I'll be sharing daily movements and exercises that you'll be able to implement. So this is kind of a way more affordable way, instead of getting a personal trainer or a one-on-one coach right now, but really joining this program and allowing me to keep you in check to make sure you're moving every day, but also these other amazing ladies who will be keeping you in check with other aspects of your life, because movement's not just the only thing. You need the nutrition. You need a good mindset and relationship with your food. You need to focus on your breath, especially during this time of COVID-19. And then also focusing on your heart, meditation, and really just bringing that full circle.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to take everyone else's classes.
I know, me too. Yeah, I'm very excited. All right, cool. So do you want to jump into that portion where you're coaching me?
Let's do it. Well, thank you. First of all, I learned a lot. I feel like, just to summarize kind of what we did so far, my cat really wants me to open the door for her. Come on, come out. She has a lot of, opinions of her own. I actually really like watching my cat, PS, because it's so interesting, like how she moves and how she expresses herself, because it's so natural. And I feel like a lot of primal movement actually comes from animals and how
it's so true.
How they
when I watch them,
So kind of to summarize the first portion that we just did from what I learned, because all you guys are learning with me, right? I really learned that, again, it all starts with the mind, even when it comes to moving. So if we really believe that this time is an opportunity to develop something in terms of movement, in terms of working out, then it really will be. And I'm feeling a lot more like inspired and motivated and excited to work on things and to really pay attention to my form. and to bring the movement and the breath together.
Yeah.
To like not just like curl the resistance band or something, but actually
Mhm.
feel it in the bicep and feel it in the muscle and connect to my body during the workout. So love it.
Yeah, and one more quick thing to add is that, with the mind muscle connection, like when you're getting to work out by yourself during this quarantine at home and trying out different movements, a lot of times it's easy to give ourselves a plan and feel like our body's forced to do it. But this is a really great way, and we're blessed with this quarantine time because we can actually check in with ourselves and see like what is my body calling for me to do, just like intuitive eating, like really tapping into ourselves, but tapping into what our body needs today, what kind of movement, because sometimes if we're just hammering ourselves with high intensity and heavy weight, it can actually work in a negative way and not allow us to recover. So really like listening to ourselves, this is a great opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
because we also talked about how we both kind of have the tendency to overdo it. And I know that in the past, I used to really force myself to go to the gym no matter what, even if I was feeling like exhausted,
Yeah.
and even doing like 2 to 3 hour workouts. That was in the past. But now, for instance, today, last week, the whole week I worked out like every day. And today I was just like, I was actually planning to work out and I planned my workout last night and everything, but then I woke up in the morning and I was kind of just feeling tired. So I decided I'm just gonna go for a walk later today. So it's really good and the physical results of my body personally, and I know it's like that for everyone, it actually shows when you're more in tune. Like when you're
Yeah.
not working hard, I feel like really you can get your goals like faster, which is
Yeah.
counterintuitive maybe, but it's so true.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so part two. So what we're gonna do, and Sucha, if you can put this in the comments and pin the link because
Yeah.
people can follow along. It's called thework.com.
The work.
Yeah, just
Okay.
super simple, thework.com. And so, yeah, perfect. So if you can pin it. And basically what we're going to do while she's typing that out is we are going to do a mindset exercise. And I'm actually going to walk Susha through it so you can have an example. Have either of you heard of Kangen water? Yes, I have. But I just use Berkey filtered water, which I really recommend. Um, Anyways, so what we're gonna do is because everything starts in the mind, like I said. So as a coach, as a plant-based coach, I will definitely be walking you through in the 21-day program food choices, cooking, meal prep, all that great stuff. Like I'll be teaching you all of that. But underneath all that, this is what I've experienced with a lot of my clients is like, I'll tell them like, eat this and this, and they
Yeah.
won't do it, right? They won't do it for whatever reason. And the reason is actually very exciting because
Hmm.
it helps you get deeper into blocks in every
Uh-huh.
area of your life, not just food. So that's
Yeah.
why I love blocks. Blocks are fun, and we're gonna work through a block now, so you can see just one tool that you'll be learning in depth in the program.
Okay.
Really helps you work on your mindset because everything starts in the mind. It includes
Yeah.
emotions and everything. So this website, thework.com, if you guys want to join us in the process, you can go to this website and you can click on the blue downloads button at the very top. It's Byron Katie's website. Susha, have you heard of Byron Katie?
I have, but I haven't heard of this website or what you're about to take me through.
Everyone's
So
like,
I'm
what
excited.
are you doing? I've done it several times, like in the past week live.
Yeah.
So I got you. Don't worry. So you click on the downloads button, and there's a worksheet called One Belief at a Time. So it's a PDF, and it has all the questions there. However, I kind of do a fusion of it, depending on your responses, and I also add like some stuff to it. So that worksheet is amazing. It's perfect. You can follow it, but we're gonna play.
Okay.
And yeah, okay. So let's just get started. So what I want you to do first is pick a belief that you have right now whatever belief it can be. I'll give you an example. Like, I feel really scared that I'm going to get sick. That's just an example. It can be about the quarantine. It can be about your nutrition, your movement right now, but it's got to be really present for you right now, like in this moment.
Okay. So many beliefs. Okay.
So maybe
Okay,
you
I
can.
think I have one. Yeah.
Okay, do you want to share?
Yeah. So, and I don't know if this like falls in the category or of a belief, but it sounds like it's like a thought or something that I believe in. Yeah. So, right now would be to basically that my belief is that I shouldn't be pressured into doing or offering so much, and I should focus this quarantine time on myself.
Okay. So we can totally work on that. Usually I have people kind of pick something that they fear.
Fear.
So
Okay.
with this, it doesn't feel like a fear for you. Well, I mean, we can work on that for sure.
Yeah.
Because we can
Hmm.
use the process to work on anything, literally. Like the sky is blue.
Yeah.
It's just about questioning your.
I think it goes hand in hand with the fear because I have a fear of burning out, and it's something I've been doing to myself. So my
Mhm.
fear, I guess, would be like, kind of like going crazy during this time. So I want to just like use this time to make sure like I really truly create balance for myself. So I don't know, the fear would be, getting caught up in everything.
Oh, okay. So you mean by going crazy, you meant getting caught up with like news and everything that's going on?
No, more so like getting caught up with like jam packing my schedule, you
Mm.
know? Yeah, because I really want to like take this opportunity to do fun things that I've been wanting to do, and I find myself like creating a back-to-back schedule every single day.
So let's see. Let's see how we can phrase this in a way that will really resonate with you and that will be like the exact fear. So would it be, I fear that if I jam pack my schedule, I'll get what? Like what will happen? Or is it just I fear that I will jam pack my schedule? Is it just as simple as that?
No, I fear that I will, if I jam pack my schedule, I won't be able to focus on important things. So, like, for right now, like, even, at this moment in time, I'm spending a lot of time with my parents, but I find myself, like, not even being fully present with them. So that's a big fear of mine, if I am jam packing my schedule.
Okay. So I kind of want to write it down for you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. Thankfully, I have a journal right here. It really does help when somebody writes it down for you. Okay. So the belief is, and everybody can follow along. So the belief is, if I'm really busy, then I will not prioritize important things, or I will
Yeah.
not be present. Use the word present for important.
Present. Yeah. Very important. Yeah.
Okay. So if I am very busy right now, I will not be present for important things. And that resonates, like that exact. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that true?
Is it true that I am like the belief, you mean?
Is it true that if you're very busy right now, you will not be present for important things?
Hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I want you to like really slow this down, and I want you and feel free to close your eyes if you feel like it will help.
Hmm.
And I want you to tune into this belief. If I'm very busy right now, I will not be present for important things. And I want you to check in with yourself if you can know without a shadow of a doubt, Sucha, that if you are very busy right now, you won't be present for important things. Can you know this without a shadow of a doubt?
No. I
Okay.
mean, I have some hesitation because a part of me feels like I'll always be busy, but it's more so like feeling the overwhelming, like scatterbrained, or like just having so many ideas in my head, or really just feeling too attached to the to-do list and not being able to like detach from it, basically, I
Being
think.
present in other areas of your life.
Mm.
So you can see that it's possible that even if you are super busy and like you're saying, you're attached to the to-do list and all of that, you would still be present. There is a possibility.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is for everyone listening, this is kind of the first step because you can see that this is a belief that we, whatever yours is, that we're very stuck with and we see as the truth. And then all of a sudden, okay, wait, it's possible that it's not true. So what she's saying so far is that it's possible that if you're very, very busy and you're like focused on this to-do list, it's still possible that you will be present in other important areas of your life.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I want you to tune into your body. And again, you feel free to close your eyes. I want you to tune into your body on how you feel actually in your body when you believe this. So when you believe, if I'm very busy right now, I'm stuck in this to-do list, I will not be present for other important things in my life. And check in with your stomach, your chest, and your throat, what it feels like there for you.
Um, I mean, it feels kind of like a trap or a never-ending battle because I don't know how to not be busy, and to do what I want to do, I'm gonna have to be like busy or have a full schedule. But then being present with what I'm doing
In your body,
in my
like,
body.
yeah, because right now you're actually using the mind to explain it. So
Yeah.
do you feel tension? Do you feel release? Do you feel heavy, light? Like, what does it feel like in those areas, in your stomach, in your shoulders, in your chest, when you're believing this, like, I'm trapped in this to-do list and I cannot be present in other areas of my life?
I think it feels more like restrictive, like it just feels more blocking or like confined. And I just compare this to maybe like a good feeling of when I feel like super free and open while I'm moving or something, where those shoulders or stomach area feel really great. But when I think this thought, it feels very like, yeah, constrained.
Like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
And how do you behave when you believe this thought?
When I believe this thought, like on a day-to-day basis, or
Yeah.
like if I,
Yeah, so imagine now you're fully in the belief of this thought. How do you behave with your work and with those important things that you're mentioning?
it's definitely something that would make me feel like a little bit, irritated with myself, but I've been better at like, trying to not take it out on other people, but it could sometimes come across as like passive aggressiveness, or
Mm.
me kind of like, you know, isolating myself. That's like a big thing that can happen when I feel like irritated, and I'm just like, okay, like I want to run away because I know this is my problem, but I feel like I can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just writing this down. So you said passive aggressive, irritated, and isolated. And so how does that show up? If you can give a specific example, or even when you imagine it, how does that show up in your work and then with your family? Because you said that's something really important to you right now.
Yeah. So in my work, I think like because I'll just be so focused on all of the things I need to do, I won't be completely present again. So it'll be hard to just focus on one thing, so it'll actually make me more unproductive.
Mm,
Um,
that's
and
really good
then
to notice. So notice,
yeah,
right? Mm-hmm.
and then with family, I think, yeah, again, that's like a really more shitty feeling because, I'll be with them and then I'll be like, okay, I'm trying to be present in what matters, but I'll just be focusing on how irritated I am or like how I don't want to be irritated with them or the to-do list. So again, it's more of like a being mad at myself or being hard on myself because I know I'm the reason why, but I'm not even able to be present with them in the time that I'm taking with them.
So what I'm noticing, and let me know if this resonates, is that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So when you believe this thought, you actually really act it out with your family where you want to be present. You actually are not present because you're feeling, I'm very busy right now. My mind is elsewhere. I have a to-do list. So I'm hard on myself. I'm actually not productive at my work, and I'm also not present for my family.
That's so true. Like, just after you said that, like, even when I'm with my family, even if I don't have like a singular thing that I'm like, I need to do this today, like, there's just that thought that I keep telling myself, like, I'm so busy. I should be working hard now so I can like support my family or whatever, like all these other reasons. And I've just heard it way too much. And I'm like, yeah, but like, it's great to be successful and like work on supporting them in the future, but it's just as important to be present with them like right now. Um, but you're so true. Like when you pointed that out, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I'm just like repeating to myself, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. So like when I'm not busy, where I take time to even watch a movie, like I just feel like complete shit about it, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes total sense. So, what I'm going to add to this process before we do the last two questions is some self forgiveness. Because this part is from another practice, and I think it helps everyone. Like, but in your case specifically, because you said hard on myself, it really, really helps. So, how it works is close your eyes and you're going to repeat what I say. Feel free to change it if it doesn't resonate. And then at some point, I'm going to tell you, okay, now keep going. And you're just going to say what's present for you. So I forgive myself. And you repeat that out loud.
Forgive myself
For judging myself.
for judging myself,
For believing that I'm too busy and I'm not present for important things.
for believing that I'm too busy and not present for important things.
And for believing that I'm not accomplishing enough. And feel free to change this to what you actually feel.
Yeah, and for believing that I'm, too busy or not able to accomplish everything that I want to.
Yeah. And the truth is,
And the truth is,
now keep going.
um, so I finish.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, what's the truth?
Hmm. And the truth is, I always have the choice to be present in whatever I'm doing. The truth is, I'm always going to have a to-do list, but it's my decision if I want to make myself busy or available to the present moment. And the truth is that if I focus on myself and if I am fully present in what I'm doing, then I'll probably get a lot more further in what I want to accomplish or in terms of productivity rather than just stressing about being busy.
Beautiful. And I would love for you to add something self affirming as well. So, because you said you're hard on yourself, and to me, it sounds like, there's more to this besides what you can do. So, what is also the truth about what you have been doing?
Hmm. The truth is, well, the past 3 years of my life have been a fucking roller coaster. So I've been trying to adapt to different situations, including like living in multiple different places for the past few months and, um, burning myself out. So I I do want to, I guess, recognize that I've been able to adapt, and no matter how hard something I'm going through is, I'm always able to get through it. And every time I don't finish something or a deadline, it's not the end of the world, and I'm still making progress in the right direction. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. What matters is that it makes sense to you, but in my intuition, yes. And do you
Okay,
feel a bit lighter?
I do. That was good.
Yeah. So open your eyes. Thank you for
Okay.
sharing.
Yeah.
I love this. Like, I love the self-forgiveness part of it, especially for us really hardworking women, right? Because we're always judging the judgment. Like
Yeah.
it's layer on top of layer. So now I expect that it will be easier for you with this next question after we did the self-forgiveness to tune into when you don't believe this thought. So you do not believe that if I am very busy right now, I will not be present for important things. So tune into the part of you that can see, okay, maybe this is not necessarily the truth. And how do you feel in your body?
Like immediately more free and open, and it's a part of myself that I probably share more on here. And like I usually do feel like that. It's a part like that feels more limitless. Like whenever I know everything is possible and I'm completely in tune with the moment, it just feels like there's no boundaries or limits, and I'm completely present in everything. So even like the body parts automatically feel more open.
And I love that you use the word present because that wasn't the original belief, right? But just, you didn't change anything. So notice, you just literally switch the mind for a second and you already feel more present. So you're actually accomplishing what you want from this
Yeah,
belief just from the mind.
yeah,
So cool. And
yeah.
and how do you behave when you don't believe that if I am very busy right now, I will not be present for important things? You don't believe it. How do you behave with your business and your family?
Yeah, I think with my business, like I'm right away able to like, no matter what the priority it is, just like I'm so clear-minded and I can just pick it out and I start working on it instead of giving myself reasons or finding distractions or putting it off somehow, and I'm just way more productive. And with my family, I mean, I am able to like fully engage in conversation, and I directly notice that with like how, if I'm on my phone talking to my parents, or if I'm like completely immersed with what they're doing and having a full-on conversation with them.
So more present and more productive.
Yeah,
When you don't believe the thought.
how about that?
I love it. I love it. That's the power of the mind. Okay, so now for the last part, what we do is we're gonna change the thought. So we're gonna create a new thought, and it can literally be the opposite of your original, or it can be like totally different, whatever resonates with you. So for example, if I'm very busy right now, I will be fully present for important things. But you can change it to whatever kind of resonates with you.
So I'm changing the thought.
Yes, you're
Okay.
changing to something new that you believe now that is more positive for you.
Okay. Mm, okay. I'll say it out loud.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, no matter how busy I am and no matter the current COVID situation, I'll be able to do whatever I want and be successful in what I'm doing.
And does that include how does that include like your family or being present for important things and then your business? So both of them.
Yeah, so I'll be able to kind of find, I don't know if the right word is success, but I guess like be the person or how I want to be with everyone and everything that I'm doing.
Awesome. Beautiful. And let's give examples. So three concrete examples from the past where you were very busy, but you were still able to be successfully present for your business and your family.
3 examples in the past where I've done
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, it can be
Hmm,
anything.
okay. Let's see. I would say just last week there was a day where I was able to, just simply writing out my schedule for the day. And I was able to, spend a solid time. I've been training and doing workouts with my mom, so got to do that, but I still got to film some content I needed to for the work that I was trying to do. So I was able to be present in both. Um, and then let's see, the past. Hmm. Definitely anytime specifically when I'm going hiking, I think there's something about that like because it's taking you out of just your home where you have all the distractions, I was able to fully be present with that with my family and really just you automatically kind of realize the important things in life instead of getting too haggled down with the to-do list. Um, and then I would say, hmm, I mean, this is not directly with family, but it's more so just like sometimes I remember going through a time in my life where I wouldn't spend any time on cooking and I would just kind of treat it as like, how much food can I meal prep in 30 minutes because I don't have time for this. But switching that to like, I take so much more time on food and vegetables regardless of the quarantine time. But realizing that that's actually making or helping me more in my business productivity by taking that time, whereas it used to be something that I totally neglected because I didn't think I would have time for it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I want to reflect something really cool back to you that I can see from your answer is that you're very creative. So your answer
Hmm.
actually gave you tools for yourself. Like you actually gave yourself tools to help you be more
Yeah.
present with your business and your family. And I wrote them down. So one is writing out your schedule, so planning out your schedule, hiking, and then taking time for cooking.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that not only are you able to see examples of no matter how busy I am or the COVID situation, I'm able to be successful and present for my family and my business, but you also know how to do it. Like the,
Yeah.
yeah. So I love it. That's really cool.
Yeah. Thanks for helping me recognize that.
I totally see that for you. So how was that?
That was awesome. I mean, that was something that I wasn't, yeah, expecting going into this. Because I thought it would be like, okay, what are you eating? Like, how are you feeling about this? But this is definitely something that relates to so many things. We briefly, and I know we just have like a few more minutes left, but we briefly even talked about in a different conversation, like whether it's binge eating or relationship with food, but I've definitely noticed all of those, like, you can call them symptoms of feeling the restricted feeling or not feeling in a good mind state, where all of those things come. Whereas when I'm able to just switch my mindset to something like this, then it automatically allows me to feel free and limitless and not feel that fear or feeling of scarcity or constrictedness and anything. So it's good. And
Feel up on.
definitely. Sorry. Oh, and I was gonna say like the biggest thing it was like when you mentioned, is it a self-fulfilling prophecy? Like, is it something that you keep telling yourself that you're busy? And I was like, whoa, like I think that is something because I've definitely heard my parents say, like, why are you just saying you're busy all the time? Everyone's busy. And I'm like, I know everyone's busy, but why do I keep having it in my mind that I am? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of times people will go through their day, and I've done it too, of course, and just say, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, like all the time, and kind of telling yourself, I'm busy, and it's this energy that you kind of bring to everything. And then actually, when you want to be present with people and when you're kind of switched off from work, you keep saying to yourself, I'm busy, So
Yeah, it's so true.
it's really interesting how we create that energy, and this is such a beautiful tool, and there's so many more that I'm excited to share for our 21-day program. But it's really
Yeah.
recognizing that your mind is the creator of all that happens